Hello and welcome back to another video with me, Rusty. How are you guys doing? I hope you're all well. We're back at it with another video. This time we're going to be picking up on our Nullsec adventure. So there's 3 videos already out that go through the whole process of hacking in Nullsec, and more specifically hacking in Nullsec in a electrical storm, which gives us multiple bonuses to our hacking ability, our scanning strength, but more importantly, it increases the amount of relic sites that spawn. So, yeah, in those videos, we talked about the fit we're going to use. We spoke about how you get from K-space into Nullsec as quickly as you can. I think it's usually within about 16 jumps, maybe a few more. From the destination system. And then I think the third and final video was actually me just going through how I set up the perches and how I kind of stay safe while I'm out in there. In those videos I did have an extra character with me that was providing support, but that's going to be a bit of another story for you in a minute, because that was an interesting event. Anyway, so that was the third video, and then basically I said that what I'd do is I would stream me gathering the loot, which never came to pass, unfortunately. I apologize for that. I was still setting up the streaming setup. Just as an FYI, that's actually now set up. I did my first test stream yesterday, which would be the 24th of the 11th, just under 2 hours I was on there for. If you want to check that out, there is a link to my Twitter account, and the video is on there, so if you want to look at it, you can. But it was mainly just me, making sure the settings were correct and everything was working as it should be, which for the most part, it went well. It went well. Anyway, so that was going to be us filling up the hold of the ship and our little security containers, and then we were going to basically the next video, which is this video. I was going to show you how we Pochven haul our way back to Jita, because obviously we're now quite a few jumps away from Jita, and to fly there manually would be a right pain in the bum. So there's usually 2 ways. One, you can actually use a wormhole connection called Fera. So I think it's on the EVE Scout website and stuff like that. Also, Pathfinder has a constant Fera connection update, so you can either use Fera to get back, or you can use a Pochven filament, which is what we're going to do. So, but before we actually do that, I need to tell you, give you a bit of an update on what happened with my ship and characters. So when the last video we left off, like I said, I was in the system, I was hacking away, and we were making a bit of money, and I had my other character doing security in a Navy issue Drake. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to get the Heron full, because it was nearly full. I just wanted to top it off so that I could record this video and show you how to get back to Jita. Now, last Friday I actually had a day off from work, so I thought, right, I'll do this on that day. Logged in, saw that there was it was just after downtime as well, so there was actually a whole fresh spawn of sites. There was 5 sites in total. And it was me and 2 other people in local, not including my ult. So I thought, right, well, I've got this guy here. Let's see if I can push this this other person. It was an Astero. See if I can force him off the sites and maybe get him to leave the system so that I could have all the sites to myself. So because I don't have combat probes, I had to basically scan the sites and warp to each location and hopefully catch him at one of the sites, which was going well. I managed to find him, did my usual perch setup, but when I found him, what I didn't do is I didn't actually warp my Heron back to the post, to the perch, and I was more fixated on my combat ship, and basically, long story short, the Heron was popped with over total value of 634 million worth of ISK inside it, and that was popped because I just simply didn't warp him out to the perch. I was too fixated on getting the kill on the Heron. So great, okay, cool. The Heron's been popped. Let's see if I can actually kill the Astero with my Drake Navy issue, and the answer is no. I severely made a massive fitting mistake on that ship. Now, basically the Astero was just orbiting me at about 22 kilometers, and I couldn't do much. Basically, my drones were medium drones, so he was too fast for the drones. I was having to use Javelin to be able to hit out that far, which obviously almost halves the DPS of that ship. And it started off alright, actually. I did actually get into his shields and nearly got him into armor, but he warped away, and stupidly, I didn't. I thought I'd try and grab some loot. He came back, and then I couldn't do any damage to him. He had me beat. Luckily, though, he was actually a good sport. He let me keep my Drake, so I didn't lose the Drake. But I basically had to surrender all the loot to him, which is fine. It was fair play. He won it fair and square. But yeah, he got over 634 million worth of ISK from the Heron. But yeah, I managed to get out with the Drake. And then, funny enough, just as I was about to pull into Jita with the Drake, I had a message come in, and what he'd done is he'd obviously seen the kill mail come through, realized how much I had, and he actually gave me 250 million back. So fair play to the guy. I can't complain. What I'll do is I'll put a screenshot of that kill mail, so you can actually just see that. Yeah, it was last Friday about 12 o'clock, and yeah, so yeah, that happened, which kind of obviously put a bit of a spanner in the works for this video, because it's like, well, I'm now back at Jita in my pod, so what do I do? So I thought, right, okay, well, we'll go back out. This time I'm not going to take my Drake because I need to work on that fit, because yeah, for an Astero to be able to sit at 22 kilometers and end up, nearly killing a ship that's got over 72,000 EHP, there's something seriously wrong with the fit. So what I realized is I need to extend the range and put in a longer warp disruption instead of a scrambler. So that is good. That's taking place. That's going into that's in progress. I'm just waiting on. I need to train a certain skill for it to be able to do what I want to do. That's going to take 3 days, and I've got other skills I want to get done first. AKA my Tengu. I want to get into my Tengu and get that flying. So the skills for that should be finished training for that shortly. So that's not too bad. So anyway, I've also made some changes to the Heron fit as well. I realised that we can make it a little bit better because we're only focusing on relic sites. We can actually change the fit around a little bit. So I've made some modifications, which I will go through when we get back to Jita. So we're going to log in now. So this is why we've been sat at the login screen, just so I can go through all this, because obviously I am in nullsec still, because I did go back out and I did some hacking. I logged in this morning to find that the storm has completely moved to a different location. So I need to get back to Jita, drop this stuff off, and then obviously I can then give this character back out and earning some cheddar. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to log in now. We're going to go through the whole process of how to get into Pochven and then how to get out of Pochven. Yeah, we'll go over the fit for the herring at the end as well. So let's crack on. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to turn the audio back up. There we go. Right, so yeah, this is our little herring. We are back in nullsec. I'm going to cloak up real quick, if it lets me. Yeah, so I was here, but the electrical storm was here, and then it's actually moved off into a completely different area. So it's a good example for us to leave. So just to show, this is all the loot I've managed to collect while I was out here. So I've managed to get 100 million, sorry. Nowhere near, obviously nowhere near what we had before, but we managed to get some stuff there. So yeah, what we're going to do now, and basically, is we're going to go through Pochven and get back to Jita. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my map. I'm actually not going to go to my map. I'm going to go to my personal assets because it's faster. I've got Jita, the station. I'm just going to set that as a destination. So as you can see, we're 25 jumps away from Jita, so it's not too far. But as you can see, most of that is through nullsec, where you'll run the risk of gate camps and bubbles and lots of nastiness that we want to try to avoid. So yeah, bubbles are all the way up through to here, and then we have gate camps, risk of gate camps for all these low secs here as well. So all this is all gate camp. Bubbles end here because you can't bubble in low sec. You can only bubble in null and wormhole space, and obviously Pochven. So yeah, we don't really want to be flying through that unless we really have to. Luckily we don't. So if we go back to our inventory and we go into my loot toucan, because I was expecting to get loads more loot, which didn't end up happening. We've got our filaments. So this is the one we use to get into nullsec. And these two are the ones we're going to use for our Pochven jumps. So one of them will take us in, and one of us will take us out. I think this is the one that takes us in. 5 ships to travel from known space to Triglavian space, yeah. So the internal we need to use, which will then drop us out into Pochven space. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to decloak, because I want my timer to come off. I'm going to form a fleet with myself. Let's get ready on the D-scan. We've got a saber knocking around, so what I might do is I might just bounce to one of my other safes real quick.
Warp drive active.
While I'm waiting for the cloak to cool down. Excellent, right, okay, so that's soft cooldown. Obviously, if you don't have a cloak because you're running on an alpha account, then you just bounce between your safes and your planets and stuff like that. And the same thing what you would do is when you're in Pochven space, you would just create loads of safes and keep bouncing around them as much as you can, because once we use this filament, we're going to be on a 15-minute timer, so we don't want to be... We have to wait 15 minutes before we can use the extract one. So we're here, we're safe on here, that's fine. Cloak we can use, so we're literally going to right click, we're going to use internal, and we're going to activate. So once you're in, just double click off in space and put your cloak and burner on. And you want to do this as fast as you can. So just pick a point to burn to, a direction. I might go up instead. And this is Pochven space. Yeah, wow, okay. I just thought I'd close my game in for a second. No, it's just very, very dark in this system. There we go, there's a bit of light for us. So, yeah, that's Pochven space. We'll put that back on so we can see ourselves a bit more. Oh, there's a nice planet down there as well. So, yeah. We are here. Now, this is a very dangerous part of space. Again, like wormhole space, you don't see anyone in local, so you don't know if there's anyone in here with you. But this is more densely populated than actual wormhole space, so there's more people in this system than wormhole space. So, like I said, if you're doing this on an alpha account and you don't have a cloak, then you just set a bunch of safes as fast as you can, and you just keep an eye on your D-scan as much as you possibly can. And yeah, just try and keep away from everyone. So look, you can see all of these NPCs here. So these are all the Triglavian Ragnarborgs and stuff, Rasnaborgs, and yeah, nasty stuff. And then there's people in here as well on top of that. So yeah, so just keep burning away to somewhere or jumping between your safes. Stay safe as long as you can. Here's our 15-minute timer, so we've got to wait. Well, it's now 12 minutes, but it is a 15-minute timer. So we have to wait 15 minutes before we can actually use this filament, which will take us out of here and put us into somewhere in known space. Now, the reason why this is good is because what it will do is, based on the area, I think Jita is there. Let me have a look. So yeah, so that is Jita. So look, we're pretty close to Jita from here. So we're here in this little Pochven system, and all these other ones are obviously kind of known systems. When we use the other filament, it will dump us out around this area into one of these systems nearby. So, you know, best case scenario, we get dumped out like somewhere, you know, close. That's like maybe like 3 or 4 jumps away from Jita. I've had it. The last trip I had, I was 16 jumps away from Jita, but that was mainly through high-sec systems. There goes an Imicus, right so close to us. It's because we're coming into range of a gate. Right, I might want to change my align to. Anyway, yeah, so basically what it was, that filament will spit us out somewhere close to Jita, and we just jump over to Jita from there. So yeah, I am going to find another one. See, look, there. So this is a very small system. Okay, it's tiny. Yeah, we'll have to just see what happens. We'll just have to just keep burning in a direction, and hopefully we'll be okay. But anyway, guys, what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to cut to when the timer has expired and we can make the jump, because obviously I don't want you sitting here for 15 minutes watching me fly around space, because no one wants to see that. So yeah, I'm going to wait for the timer to expire, and then what I'll do is I'll jump back and bring you back for the next part of the trip, so I'll catch you then. Right, welcome back. So the timer has just expired, so we're now free to use the next filament. Now, this system, I'm seeing a lot of ships popping up on D-scan, so what I'm going to do, I'll say a D-scan on my overview. I don't know whether to warp to a planet that's further away from this gate. Right, okay, no, that's fine. We're going to do it now. So once your time has expired, open up your next filament, your inventory. Get ready to use the filament. Obviously, it's not going to let me do it because I'm cloaked, so I'm going to decloak, activate. Don't hang around. Get out. The shorter amount of time you're on there, available on their D-scan, the better. Right, so we're now in a new system, and we are 9 jumps from Jita. We are still in low sec. So, yeah, just...
Warp drive active.
Just going to jump straight through this gate as fast as we can, because then we're going to be in high sec and a little bit safer. A little bit, not much, but a little bit. So yeah, okay, so it's jumped us up north from Jita, so we're going to go through that way, but that's fine. We're still 9 jumps away, which is a lot better than it was. There we go, we're back in high sec. So yeah, so that is literally Pochven hauling. You use the filament to get in. You wait on the 15-minute timer, and then you jump straight out with the other filament, and that's it. So what I'm going to do now is, again, I'm going to cut the video to when I hit the Jita system. There's a Praxis there, wow, okay.
Warpdrive active.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, I'm going to cut to when I'm at the Jita system, so I will see you when I get there. Okay. So welcome back. We are now in Jita, yeah, I'm actually going to use my dock bookmark, and I'm going to use the Microwarpdrive and Cloak trick as well. So I'm going to align to it, activate them. And then I'm going to warp to 0 once my speed is up. Right, now. So disable cloak and then activate warp. And then we just insta-warp there. So if you've not seen the last video of the first few hours playthrough, I actually go through setting up insta-docks and undocks and why they're so important. And this is going to be a good example of why. So once we get here and then dock, get straight in. There we go, we're straight into Jita, it's straight docked up. It's a lot harder for people to catch us on that gate, which is fine. So yeah, that's it, we are now back in Jita. So I can close my fleet window. I can actually leave the fleet altogether, and yeah, we are back with our hull. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to take out all of this and move into my item hanger for me to sell later on. I'm not going to go through selling it now because it would just be boring for you guys to sit there and watch that. But what it will do now is I can actually go through the updates to the Heron fit that I've added. I mean, I'll put them in the description as well, so the fit will be in the description if you want to use this one, but I think it just makes it a little bit safer for us when we're solo. We can try and spend a little bit less time on the actual site. So let's go into it. So the things that are the same, we're still using a small gravity capacitor upgrade 1 and a small emission scope sharpener 1. They haven't changed. Obviously, we're using a core probe launcher 1 with sisters core scanner probes. We've got 16 of them. We have the Cloak, which is the improved cloaking device 2. Now, this is one of the new additions. It's the auto targeting system 2. So what this does is it actually allows us to have a we can actually get an extra 3 cans locked up. So the Heron by default can only lock up 4 cans. So by sticking this on, we get an extra 3 targets we can lock. So we can actually now lock 7 targets, which most sites are between 7 and 8 cans. So which is really good. So we can actually lock up most of the cans if they're in range. So same thing again, we've got the Relic Analyzer I because I don't have my relic skills up to 5, so I'm using 1. We have our Microwarpdrive I, a 5MN. We have our PL0 scoped cargo scanner. We have our scan rangefinding array 1. And then again, the new one here, we've taken away our data analyzer and we've stuck in the sensor booster, and we're running the targeting range script, which increases our targeting range to 32 kilometers. So if we simulate that, we can now target out to 32, and most cans we can actually get within this range. So we can warp into the middle of a site, sit there, lock up 7 of the cans that are within 32 meters range, which most of them will be, and then we can actually just go through and scan all of them, which is great. So that means we can scan the cans, find out which ones we want or don't want, and then we can either leave the site or, you know, cherry pick it and come back to it later if we have time. And then down at the bottom we've got Warp Core Stabilizer I and a Inertial Stabilizer I as well, and that is the fit. It puts the price of the Heron up a little bit from the original cost, but I think being able to lock more cans at a further range is better. I think it's just a bit better. It makes us a little bit more. We can do a site a bit quicker, or at least scan it quicker. That's my opinion. And if you do take another character with you, so if you're going to take like another escort ship with you or something like that, take a mobile a mobile depot with you. Because then what you can do then is you can put in the data analyzer in your other character ship. If you find a site or a load of sites that are all data sites, then you can refit to your data analyzer and go hack them as well. So I think it's an improvement over the old fit, especially if you have another character with you that you can then refit stuff out. But yeah, that is the fit. That's how we do Pochven hauling. I'm not sure what our next nullsec adventure is going to be, because that's pretty much all I really do in nullsec. I just do hacking. So if you want to see more videos of me hacking and stuff like that, then let me know. I am actually gearing up to doing what I really want to do, and that is to do some wormhole stuff. And some of you may have already noticed I've actually gone and bought 2 porpoises. So yeah, we're starting to gear up for that. So I'm waiting for some skills to finish training on my main. Once they're done, I can then get him into a Tengu, and then we can actually go off and do what I want to do. So that'll be wormhole adventures, I guess. But anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap this video up here. I'm pretty sure it's close to the getting close to the 25, if not half-hour mark. But yeah, sorry it's taken a little while to get this video out, but when I lost the Heron with over 600 million in it, I kind of was a little deflated. But it is what it is. Lessons learned, and I hope you learn those lessons as well, or you take on this information and you know, do as I say and don't do as I do, I guess. But anyway, guys, I'm going to leave this here. You all have a great afternoon, morning, evening, wherever you are in the world. And I hope to see you in the next video. But until then, guys, you all stay safe, fly safe, and I'll catch you in the next one.